We've looked at the top 5 prospects in the prospect pool, and we've also looked at the relative strength of the prospect pool versus the rest of the NHL. But how about underrated players in the prospect pool? Who are 3 underrated prospects in the Islanders prospect pool? Before we begin, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a video. Also, go to Twitter, follow at TLOMitch. That's me. Don't miss any breaking information about Islanders prospects I've yet to cover on the channel. Underrated prospects. What do I mean by that? Well, I just mean by looking at various lists out there and rankings of the various prospects in the Islanders prospect pool, who are some players that notoriously rank a little bit lower than I would like them to be. The 3 that come to mind are Etolucas, Alex Jeffries, and even Arnaud Durandeau. Etolucas is a prospect that I've been high on for a while now. Now, this is a guy that doesn't really project to be more than a 4th line player at the NHL level, but that is absolutely a ceiling I can see him hitting. Without a doubt, I can see him being a 4th line player at the NHL level. He's got everything. He can skate pretty darn well, he's got a good shot, and he's physical as all hell. This is a player that could absolutely be a 4th line player at the NHL level. But when you look at some rankings, specifically Scott Wheeler's, and I don't mean to call him out specifically, but he's got at least got him on the ranking, but others really don't. When it comes to DeLucas, he has dropped 6 spots, and he's even lower than Alex Lundqvist, which to me is a no-go. Like, Alex Lundqvist might have a higher ceiling, I guess, based off of where he was drafted, but based off of what I've seen and what I'm following, I would not rate Alex Lundqvist higher than Etolucas. So right there and then, Etolucas underrated in the Islanders prospect pool. In my listings, Etolucas' NHLE has jumped nearly double. He's putting up 17 points in 39 games for HPK versus the 12 and 48 he scored last year for TPS. He is scoring at a more frequent rate than he was previously, at the same level. Sure, a year older, but he's below 23 years old, so you would expect him to continue to grow, and he is growing at the legal level. Now, does that mean his ceiling has risen? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say his ceiling is now higher. What I would say is that his ceiling is very much cemented. Now, there's no, like, he's guaranteed to make the NHL, but what we're seeing with Etolucas this year is that that ceiling has been basically confirmed. Like, he could hit the NHL and be a 4th line player at the NHL level. Alex Jeffries shows up on the Athletics ranking this year, and at a good number, but below Quinn Finley and Matthew Maggio. Now, both prospects, there's promise there. But both prospects, you got to take a little bit of grain of salt with their projections right now. When it comes to Quinn Finley, he just turned 18. Like, he's quite young, so who knows where that's going to go. And with Matthew Maggio, you got an overager at the OHL level. While promising, and it looks good, and I'm cheerleading him for sure, I wouldn't be like, he's going to be making it compared to a guy who, like Jeffries, is doing very, very well at the NCAA level. This year, his junior year, Alex Jeffries has 25 points in 21 games. He has absolutely vaulted Merrimack up the Div 1 standings to where they're not usually at. Merrimack is not usually one of the top 10 sides of Div 1 hockey, and they are this year. Not only because of Alex Jeffries, but he's a big reason why. With Alex Jeffries, you're getting speed, you're getting skill, and you're getting intelligence. He has all of the transferable skills to go from the admittedly junior ranks of NCAA into the professional ranks at the AHL level, and probably even higher. His ceiling is middle 6 forward at the NHL level. And we're going to put Alex Jeffries below Quinn Finley and Matthew Maggio, who are still question marks at this point. I don't know, but I don't agree with that. The third and final one here is Arnaud Durandeau, and I want to thank subscriber Avedon for bringing this more to my attention, because while Arnaud Durandeau is a prospect we all know about, and he's doing pretty well at the AHL level, I wouldn't have even considered him right now. And I know he didn't make Wheeler's ranking, but that's age requirement. Like, Arnaud Durandeau is 24 years old, so he's outside of the threshold by the Athletics ranking. But when you look at Arnaud Durandeau's NHLE over the last 4 years, you see a player who is growing. You got 9.7 in year 1 as a pro, 18.2, 18.4, and then 20.1 this year. Now, that doesn't project to be a top 6 swinger or even a middle 6 swinger. It's probably going to be a 4th liner. But this is an underrated player. It's a guy that we're not considering that could very well be a 4th line player at the NHL level. He's got tenacity, he's got skill, and he's adapted himself to the pro game. It's taken him some time, but he's done it. For a 6th round pick that could very well be a 4th liner, you'll take that. Now, when you look at these underrated players, there isn't like a secret top line winger or a top line center in it. There's no secret blue chip prospects in the Islanders prospect pool. There really isn't. But there are some serviceable pieces that we're just not paying that much attention to right now. And so I wanted to draw our attention to that. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you have. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.